This is a podcast.
Do you think this is a podcast?
It could be.
I don't know that it is.
Maybe.
I mean, I think we need to listen to that song one more time to know if it's a podcast or not.
I mean, we can do that.
What is a podcast?
That is a very good question. I've always wondered that. Like, what podcast stands for. And it's funny that we've been doing this for how many years, and I have never even thought to look it up on what it means.
It's a cast for pod people.
We gotta stop.
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna be a bug-eating pod man.
Okay.
Yeah. And after Dave's little Daveism, I thought I told you to get rid of those before we got on the show.
You did?
Yeah, I told him to. I told him to get all the Daveisms out before we got on. You know, you got to tell Dave kind of like go to the bathroom before we leave.
Yeah.
Like, you got to tell Dave, get all your Daveisms out before we start.
I like them. They make the show special.
No,
Yes.
it's definitely special.
Yes, special. That's
Yes,
the word.
Definitely special.
Well, I don't
Speaking
mean,
of
like,
special,
Mentally.
well, that's a whole other topic of the show.
I meant like unique, not like, half-baked.
That's true. That's true. I don't know if I could see Dave half baked though. That would be.
I would like to see Dave fully baked, but that's okay. I don't think that's really his thing. So.
Is that your thing, Dave?
It's on my bucket list before I die.
Wait, oh really?
Not anytime soon, but before I die.
Well, right, but the thing is, you never know when you're gonna die.
It'll be the thing that kills him.
Could be.
Not likely. I mean, what were you planning on just getting high off marijuana, or were you going to fight shadow creatures on some other drug?
Why not both? You know.
Well, no, because like, I mean, if you had a little bit of marijuana, Dave, you'd be like, oh, I'm just like relaxed and everything's a little funny. And if you had like DMT, you would lose your mind.
Dave, that might be what you need for your ADHD thing.
What?
DMT?
Weed or what?
Just whatever calms him down.
No, DMT
LSD?
will not calm him down. No.
No, I don't think
Coke?
LSD wouldn't do it.
Meth?
Dude, no, like these are all like hyper addictive, like psychoactive drugs. They're more likely to make you schizophrenic than they are to help you with your ADHD. Honestly, if you want something that will help with ADHD, nicotine, because they're actually currently researching using nicotine for ADHD medications. They just can't separate the addictive part of it
From the part
From
that
the
actually
help-
helps. Yeah.
from the part that helps. So,
Have you guys seen the prices of ADHD medication? Maybe I should just start a meth lab.
no, meth will not help you with ADHD, but nicotine would. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor, and this is not health advice, but,
I mean, technically, you
always-
treat ADHD with stimulants, and meth is a stimulant.
well, it's a stimulant, but it's not a healthy stimulant. Meth will mess up your teeth, mess up your life, you know? I would recommend, honestly, if you're gonna use a stimulant to help with ADHD, just get nicotine pouches.
Is that a stimulant, technically?
Nicotine is a stimulant, yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue.
They're
I
great.
don't do any of that stuff, and I don't know how we got on this topic.
Yeah,
This
where's
is-
We're talking about drugs today.
This is
Yes, apparently.
well, talking about a special show. No, actually, let's just jump right into this because I'm really excited about this episode. We are going to be talking about who we think. Okay, we got to specify who we think are the most underrated actors. Now that
Some of which you may need to be high to enjoy. You know?
yes, it's very possible.
Yes.
And it's funny because Dave and I were talking about this earlier.
About getting high and watching movies.
No, Dave, no. Just no. We were talking about this earlier, and some of the actors that we've come up with on our lists, to many people, are not considered like B-list actors. They're considered top actors.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at certain websites, one of them I won't name because every time I name it, Noah goes into a fit.
Screen Rant,
No, the other one.
right? What other one?
IMDb.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much for not naming it.
Right. Usually every time I name that one, Noah kind of goes into a little fit about it. But, IMDb showed some of these actors that I've seen in multiple things, and I think are some of my favorites, as being B and sometimes even C-list actors, and some of them not even like rated at all. And they've got A-list actors. Half of them are dead by now, and haven't made a good movie in 50 years. But what do we know? We're not Hollywood. So with saying that, we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to go first because I do not see how this woman is considered a B-list actor, and that is Kristen Bell. I really like her, and maybe the look on both your guys' faces kind of explains why she's a B-list actor.
Remind me what she was in again. Like, I know the name, but I can't remember exactly.
Frozen
No,
2.
I've seen some stuff she's in. She's cool and she's beautiful. Oh my
She
God.
really is. She really is. But yeah, she's in the Frozen movies. The Good Place was a TV show. One of my favorite movies is actually her and her husband, Dax Shepard, and it's in Hit and Run. It's actually a really good movie, worth watching at least once. But I think she is a very underrated actor or actress because she has depth. Like, she really does. She doesn't play just one particular character like some of these other actors and actresses do. Like, she has depth. She has a lot of reach as far as her acting career. I would like to see her in more that at least more prominent roles. I think. I mean, I know she's had like a couple of like prominent roles here recently, but none of the movies have actually done very well. And usually just because they're just poorly made movies, it has nothing to do with her. But that's my first one on the list. Is I would like to see her. I think she's very, very underrated for her talent, at least.
Yeah, aside from Frozen, I really don't know her.
Yeah. And that is the thing, she's good as a voice actor. The Good Place is actually I liked the show. A lot of people, I know some people didn't. But The Good Place is actually a really good show to watch as well. And she did really, really good in that one. There was another, and it kind of upset me because there was another show that I just recently watched. She was in one episode of it, and I could not find what it was. I can't remember what it was, but she played like almost a psychotic person in a way. And I mean, it's kind of scary on how quick she can switch roles, in between what she normally plays, like what you normally see her as or what you know her as, versus there's another show that's on Netflix. It's The Woman in the Window, I think is what it's called. Or the woman across, I can't remember. It's either The Woman in the Window or The Woman Across the Street, something like that. The show itself was very poorly made, but she was good. And like I said, she's got a good range. So that's the reason why I like her. And she's beautiful. I'll put it that way. Yes.
No, everything I've seen of her, she's done well in. I mean, but I agree. Yeah, she's underrated for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to see her in more.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I would like to see her in, though. That's the thing. It's like, because some actors and actresses should probably stay away from certain roles.
Right.
I don't think she would do good in like a really like horror movie or anything. Like I don't think she would be. Well, actually, and she was in one. She was in the beginning of Scream 4, which that was kind of a comical setting in a way. The way how she was in it, but that's the only other thing. I don't think she would do really well in a like a horror movie like Nev Campbell or Jamie Lee Curtis or anything like that. I think she would be good in a lot more comedies because she's very funny. But yeah, I couldn't tell you like exactly what I would want to see her in though.
Okay.
Are you good over there?
Dave's just chilling, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's- well, it's just I was like, I'm sitting here watching the screen. I'm just seeing his mic just like tip.
I think with Dave, man, I think we try too much to understand, and it's not about understanding. Just let him do his thing, you know.
Oh
No.
yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right. So yeah, who we got next? Who wants to go next?
So unless Dave has one, I have 3 actors in mind for the show tonight. We might not get to all of them, but
Okay.
I have a few. How did you only get 3?
well, because these are just the ones I'm passionate about.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that.
Okay. Now we can talk more about underrated actors. I mean, but my first one is Zachary Levi.
Ooh. Okay. He's on my list. So
Oh, he is.
yeah, he's on my list.
Okay, so this is gonna be good then. So the reason I said Zachary Levi, did you guys ever watch Chuck?
Yes.
No.
Chuck was
Very,
great.
very good. You need to watch it. It is something
Chuck
that
is-
it would be your speed to watch.
Chuck is awesome. It is. Sometimes it misses the mark on some of the jokes. Okay, but it is, and the action is hokey as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
But the actors in that show, when they get into the dramatic parts of that show, it has no right to be as good as it is.
Right.
And it's like you're watching this stupid spy show with Zachary Levi, and you're just like so emotionally invested. You're like, oh man, I really want his sister to be okay.
Yes.
It's just like,
Yes.
like it's ridiculous how much of an emotional pull that show draws out of you just
Mhm.
because he's such a good main character, such a good and relatable actor.
Yep.
And then also, he was entangled.
Yep.
He was Strider, right?
Ryder.
Flynn Rider. That's
Flynn
what it was.
Rider.
Flynn Rider in
You
Strider is
leave me
Lord of
no
the Rings.
choice. Prepare for the smolder.
For the Schmolder.
You've seen Tangled.
Yes, I have
Okay.
seen Tangled.
Come on,
Okay.
Dave. So yeah, he plays that character, did a great job on that. And he did
Yep.
the singing, and he did a great job on. So he can sing, he can do dramatic, he can do animated, he can do comedy. He's so well versed. And then they gave him this. Everyone knows him from Shazam because they gave him this stupid script for Shazam, and it's like, I just want him to do what Steve Carell is doing with his acting career right now. Steve Carell is just doing all these serious roles, and they're the best stuff he's ever done. And I want Zachary Levi to do like serious roles, like just drama. I
Now-
just want good dramatic acting from him.
Okay, so you say that. Have you seen American Underdog? That's a movie that he's in. It's a dramatic role. It's a football movie. Crap. Now I can't remember what the actual football player's name is, but the guy that he portrayed came out of college, went into the NFL draft, didn't get picked. He waited, like a couple of years. He played arena football for a bit, and then just suddenly the Los Angeles Rams just came up and be like, "Hey, we want you," and he started his career. And I mean, he just like he was a very well known football player. And now like I said, now that we're talking about it, I can't think of what the guy's name was. I can look it up really quick. but
Name is Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner. Okay, yep, there we go. That now it clicks. But yeah, I literally I just watched that not that long ago too. But you were talking about like a good dramatic role. That's an actually really good role that he did. It's a good movie all the way around too. So that's one
Dennis
worth watching.
Quaid is in it.
Yep.
How did I not hear about this?
It kind of went under the radar a little bit. It does kind of have like a faith-based setting to it, which around the time that it came out, a lot of the, like the religious movies and the faith-based movies were just getting shunned because of the fact. So it kind of got pushed under the radar. But yeah, it's very, very good. Like, it's a really good movie to watch, especially if you're a good, if you're a football fan. It's something worth watching too. So, yeah, that's a good one. What else was he in too? Like, he's been in. Okay. So kind of side note, hot take type thing. I didn't mind Shazam that bad. I think the story could have been better. But again, I think Zachary Levi did a phenomenal job with what he was given.
He didn't do bad. It was just not a great script.
Yeah.
And also, I wouldn't have even watched the film if he wasn't in it.
Mm.
So I watched the movie just to see him have fun, basically, because I love that actor, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it did seem like he had a lot of fun in that movie. A lot better than
For sure.
Black Adam. We don't talk about that one. I'm a DC fan, and I am appalled by what they did with Black Adam. It is just, if we want to go the other way and talk about overrated actors, Dwayne Johnson, yeah, totally overrated to me. Like, the dude is the exact same character no matter what he does. So I don't like it.
He wasn't always that way though. He did better when he was still a B-list actor. Like in the early 2000s, I actually thought he was okay.
I will say, like, Be Cool. That's one that he did. That's like the first movie that I saw him in. He did really good in that one. Yeah, after he kind of got into, like, or came out of the WWE and really got into all of these other movies, it's kind of like they started making movies and just putting him in it because they know people would watch it. And the movies just sucked. I mean, I'm a huge Fast and Furious fan. I absolutely hated it when they brought him into the franchise. Like, I what was it? I think 5 is when he came in, and 5 was okay, but after that point, yeah, they all really suck after that. But
I agree.
I'm biased with it. So, all right, what do you got, Dave?
John C. Reilly. Okay.
I don't like John C. Reilly to begin with, but this is your list, so go ahead.
Well, I like musicals, so he was in the movie remake of Chicago back in like 2002 or something. I can't remember what year it was.
Actually, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's Chicago, and he's in it. So of course you've got your A-list celebrities. You got Catherine Zeta-Jones, what's her face, the blonde, Renee Zellweger, and that guy from that thing.
Isn't Cher in that one? Or is she in?
No.
She's in Burlesque.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
There's a couple of movies that are like that. So
Richard Gere, thank you.
okay.
But yeah, John C. Reilly plays kind of one of the more, not quite, I wouldn't say a tragic character, but he's kind of the character that, he's always overlooked. He's always in the background, and one of the songs is about that. And I thought he brought plenty of character and emotion to that character.
Okay.
And then, of course, he's the voice behind Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes. I actually didn't mind him in that.
And then there's the...
Sorry, he's always classified as a comedy actor, but he does have quite a lot of non-comedic stuff under his belt.
Yeah.
And people ignore that.
Yep. I will give that.
Where was I going?
I don't know.
Sorry.
He was in the, was it 2018 Kong? movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He had like a short role in that one. I actually kind of like that role just because of it fit his character very well, or fit his personality well. Because he's kind of psychotic.
Oh, okay.
And the guy's been like trapped on an island for, 20 years, and
I can't remember what else he was in now. He was in Walk Hard, which is, one of the greatest movies ever.
yeah. Walk Hard. Okay, Walk Hard's that's such.
It's a
weird,
mixed bag.
Yes, it is.
There are good moments and there are moments.
Yes, I think John C. Reilly could be decent in more, prominent roles.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with him is, and I know that a lot of people don't like it when I say this, I am not a Will Ferrell fan.
Okay.
And so when you think of John C. Reilly, you think of Will Ferrell. Because he's in
They were in Step Brothers,
Step
right?
Brothers, Talladega Nights, that Sherlock and Watson movie that nobody liked.
It was horrible.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard so many people didn't like it. And, he's in like oh man. There's a couple of other things that they're in together, and it's just like, yeah, whenever you see, it's kind of like the whole Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum thing. Like you almost can't see one without the other, and John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell are the same way. And so I think if you were to separate them, like they have been separated in a couple of other movies, they're not so bad. But when you put them together, I can't stand them. I don't like their comedy
Okay.
and the way they feed off.
I actually
each other.
haven't really seen any of the movies with both of them in it either, so.
Yeah, I think Step Brothers is completely. I think it's complete garbage.
Oh, I love Step Brothers.
I don't.
I haven't
See, John,
seen it.
this is why you're not ready for the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah. That
Dude.
went over my head.
Come on, that's like a huge running joke in Step Brothers.
Again, I didn't like it, so
And I
it's
didn't
like,
see it.
I couldn't tell you a bunch about it.
Dude, Step Brothers is great.
You're
You're just a hater.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
Don't you like Waterboy? Like what?
Yeah, I like Waterboy, but that's Adam Sandler. That's not Will
Yeah.
Ferrell.
Yeah, but that movie sucks.
What?
Yeah, so does Elf, but see,
No.
yes,
Waterboy's
That's
fun.
great.
I love Waterboy.
yeah, I like Waterboy
I hate
too.
Waterboy.
I think. Well, no, I'm not gonna say he's.
I'm not a
underrated.
huge Adam Sandler fan though.
Is he? And the thing with him is he's very mixed. So we talked about this. What, last episode? I think it was. He's very mixed.
Yeah.
With
Some of his roles are really good and others are
yeah, a little spotty. He does pretty good in some serious stuff.
He does.
Eh.
Uncut Gems was great.
I haven't seen it.
It
Uncut
was.
Gems was phenomenal for him.
It was almost too long. For me.
Yeah, but don't you like Lord of the Rings?
Yes, but there's a difference there. I'm in trance with Lord of the Rings. Like, I love the story behind it. I like the story behind Uncut Gems. I just think there are certain parts that it just kind of drug on a little too long for what it should have been. Adam Sandler's also in another kind of a serious role called Hustle. It's a Netflix original one too, and it's he's an NBA scout, and he goes to like Lithuania for this kid, and like it's the whole story behind this basketball player, and Adam Sandler is the scouting manager basically to try to get him over here. That one's pretty good. Was it Punch Drunk Love? I think is another serious one that he did. That one was okay. I know we're off topic here, but
I don't know.
I could almost label him as an underrated actor in a way, because a lot of people just dog on him because of
All the
few
stupid things he's
horrible
done.
movies,
Yeah.
the horrible movies that he has made. A lot of people just look down on him.
I prefer Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler. And Happy Gilmore.
So yeah, I like Happy Gilmore.
You don't like The Wedding Singer? That is the best romantic comedy ever made.
Okay.
No. No. No, it is not. Not even close.
I don't know that many romantic comedies. Wrong.
Well,
Yeah.
that's your first problem.
I mean, I watch some, but I just like
he threatens to strangle someone with a microphone cable. What more do you need?
The best romantic comedy is Love and Other Drugs. That
I haven't
is
seen
the
it.
best.
yeah, I haven't seen that one
Jake
yet either.
Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway. So
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. It's on my list. It is on my list. Okay. The reason I don't like The Wedding Singer is the reason I don't like 50 First Dates or Blended or Never was it Riding in Cars with Boys or Firestarter or they all have a main theme. It's Drew Barrymore.
Oh.
I don't like Drew Barrymore.
See, when I was younger, I had a crush on Drew Barrymore. But, okay, if we take away, like, all the movies past The Wedding Singer, like, that was, like, the original Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore, you know, where they had good chemistry. So, I like to keep it that way. That's nostalgic for me. 50 First Dates...
Try that again.
50 First Dates was okay, but it was nowhere near as good as The Wedding Singer, in my view.
Okay. And see, I like 50 First Dates because I like the storyline of it. I don't know. To me, The Wedding Singer it's not one that I just go out of my way to watch. Like, I would watch it, but if it's on. But that's about it. So, but anyway, I think since we're on it and we're talking about, like, you know, people who have been in just multiple roles, and we've talked about him multiple times, and I would love to actually meet him. That he is on my bucket list to actually meet just once, and that would be Alan Tudyk.
Oh, yeah.
I think Alan
Steve the
Tudyk
Pirate.
is by far the most underrated actor in Hollywood history because I tried looking him up, and, like, you know, again, A-list actors are like Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, you know, Benicio del Toro, those types of people. Yeah, people that are like older, Leonardo DiCaprio, that type of thing. B-list, you know, is kind of like what we're talking about right now. Alan Tudyk wasn't even on like the C-list. So and it could be just the list of, you know, the website was given. But I think Alan Tudyk is by far one of the better actors that it's out there. He has a very good range of material.
Yeah, he's a very gifted character actor. He can be a villain, he can be a good guy, he can be a lot of things.
Yes.
he can be a pirate.
Yes, he can be a pirate.
Yes. He can be a medieval knight. Well, not a knight, I guess what are they called? Peasant.
But I almost think this kind of goes against your point because I would say he was an underrated actor. I don't think he is anymore because we know so much of his body of work and he's in so many things now.
But the thing about it is he's in so many things that it's just kind of like, unless you know that he's in there, you don't know.
He was also, Duke Wesselton in Frozen?
Yep. It was Duke Wesselton in Frozen. He was Duke Weaselton in Zootopia.
I haven't seen Zootopia.
He was the chicken in Moana.
Yes.
He was...
Also in Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep, he was in Wreck-It Ralph. You know, and again, it's these types of things. Like, if you know that he's in these movies, then he's not that underrated to you because, I mean, you know, you follow him. But a lot of people are kind of just like, yeah, I have no idea who he is. Or, you know,
I think
not
underrated it's like there are so many normal movie watchers who don't watch a lot of movies or like look into specific actors and watch movies from specific actors, and people like us who tend to do that more.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, why does nobody know about this person?
Yeah.
Well, it's because not everyone's a psycho and is gonna go look up an actor and then watch all the movies they're in, like some of us would do.
Yes. And that's basically what
he's-
I've done with Alan Tudyk because I've watched
He's
just
in
about
my
everything.
favorite comedy movie of all time, Dale and Tucker vs. Evil.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's also a better rom-com than The Wedding Singer.
That is
far.
That is a phenomenal movie.
And actually, I'm going to change my answer. That is the best rom-com.
Oh, okay.
That is the best rom-com.
That is
the
a pretty good, yeah.
It's the best comedy movie, and it's the best rom-com. And and it's got some of the best character development of any film ever.
Yes.
It's a movie about self-acceptance and finding the right person. It's a happy movie.
It really
Yes,
is. I mean,
it's
outside of the kids jumping in the
wood chipper.
in the wood
The
chipper.
wood chipper. Look, man. If you're dumb enough to jump into a wood chipper, that's on you. You know?
Well, officer, we've had a doozy of a day.
You might not believe me, but this kid jumped in the wood chipper.
I absolutely love that movie. That is one that, again, it's just like, it's those types of movies that I wish that he would make more of.
Yeah.
You know, he did a really good job in Doom Squad. It was a TV show that actually had Brendan Fraser in it. He's another one that I think he's making his comeback though. He really is. But it had Brendan Fraser, it had Alan Tudyk, it had, oh crap, I can't remember everybody else that was in it. But he played the bad guy in that one, and he did a great job with it too. Of course, he's in my very favorite TV show, Firefly, which I have another one of the actors from that show on my list as well. But yeah, he was in Firefly, which, for the original Browncoats that know the show, if it wasn't for Fox, that show would probably still be going. Fox really screwed that one up. So, but yeah, I think Alan Tudyk is a phenomenal actor. I think he should be in a lot more than he's in. Now, I know he does have he's got a running TV show right now. What's it called? Resident Alien, I think it is. I haven't seen it yet, but that's like his running thing at the moment. But yeah, seeing him in like more prominent roles, I would like to see him in a really good serious role. Like he would be one I would love to see in a good serious role.
Yeah, I think he could do it.
Yeah, I think he could too. And it's sad because a lot of the actors and actresses that we may talk about, they kind of get put into a certain typecast
Yeah.
because of what they're known for, and it's like that's what they do. I try to stay away from some actors, like I know we've talked about it before, like Seth Rogen and Noah or Jonah Hill, and even some of the Adam Sandler stuff, because a lot of the characters that they play, no matter what movie they're in, is kind of the same thing,
character,
just over and
yeah.
over again. But on top of that one of the other people that are on my list is Jason Bateman. And he kind of has that point where he kind of gets typecast because of his comical style is kind of like dry-ish, but at the same time it's a very witty comedy. But he gets kind of typecast into the movies where it's almost like he just doesn't do as much anymore. For those who don't know, if you don't know him,
I've never met
Dave,
him personally.
I know Dave never really has seen most of his stuff. He was in Arrested Development, Identity Theft, which is a really good movie with Melissa McCarthy. If you've never seen it, it's worth watching.
Have you ever seen Ozark?
Yep.
John?
Yep. Ozark is
He
really
did
good.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal in that as like
Yes.
a very dramatic role.
Yep. And see, and that's what I'm talking about too, because like he's got that serious, like the dramatic role down, but then he also at times he'll throw in that little witty, like those little witty snips that he does, and it makes his character really, really work. Yeah, I think that, and again, okay, so the only reason why I have him on the list, Jason Bateman, I think he's a very talented actor, and I think he should be higher than what he is. IMDb had him listed as a C-list actor.
What?
Yes. Yeah, had him down as a C-list, like, and I don't know why. I mean, to me, yes, B-list at best, maybe, but I wouldn't put him up there A-list with, like, Leonardo DiCaprio or anything like that. But I think he's much more talented than people give him out to be. And maybe it's just because he hasn't really made a lot of stuff here recently. I mean, I think Ozark was one of the last ones that he did.
It ended 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 2 years ago. He was in The Change Up. I don't know if you've seen that one. That was actually really good. It's Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds, and it kind of does a Freaky Friday moment where Ryan Reynolds is like the playboy type guy, like the womanizer, and Jason Bateman is married with a couple of kids, and he's kind of like sick of his life in a way, and somehow they end up switching bodies. And so like Ryan Reynolds' character ends up being the one with the kids and the family, and Jason Bateman gets his little freedom for a little bit, and then it does the whole Freaky Friday, I wish I had my old life back type thing. But it's actually a funny movie. It's worth watching. All right, anybody else got another one? I could go on and on, but I don't want to be the only one talking.
I have another one.
Bless you.
Thank you. All right. So,
Bless you. My friend.
this may sound strange. Paul Giamatti.
Okay.
Paul Giamatti is extremely underrated. He is in so many phenomenal dramatic and comedy roles, and nobody talks about him. He hasn't been in as much recently, but nobody talks about Paul Giamatti and how phenomenal he is. He's better than Brad Pitt. He's better than all these other A-list actors. He's just like at the top of his game in every role, and nobody talks about Paul Giamatti. He did that John Adams miniseries, phenomenal. Big Fat Liar, he did phenomenal. I mean, yes. He's just a monster in the field, and nobody talks about him.
A movie of his that I just watched, it's called All Is Bright. It's a Christmas-esque movie with Paul Giamatti and Paul Rudd. And he's just out of prison, and Paul Rudd's character gets him into selling Christmas trees. It's worth watching around Christmas time. But yeah, that's another good movie that he's really in. It's kind of like a that serious comedy role. The only thing about Paul Giamatti is a lot of his characters it's another one of those typecasts. A lot of his characters are kind of the same.
Just angry.
Yeah. Yeah, he does play a very good angry person overall. But I will agree with that one. I think he is very underrated. I think he should be in a lot more things. Another thing about Paul Giamatti, though, is if you've noticed, a lot of like what people call like the A-list actors, they have that look, like the Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, again, Leonardo DiCaprio, those types of things. Like they have that look that everybody strives for. Nobody wants to look like Paul Giamatti. I mean, maybe you.
Paul Giamatti's awesome.
You do kind of got the look down a little bit. I will.
What are you talking about? I don't look like Paul Giamatti. I got hair now.
You got some.
What?
You do have more hair. That's surprising.
Yeah. No, I take meds for it.
Hey, whatever works.
And they're working. So yeah.
There you go. I have to wear a hat because my hair is very patchy, but we're not going to talk about that. So, but yes, Paul Giamatti, I will give him that one. Do you have another one?
I lost it.
Do you want to come back to it? Okay.
Well, if I'll this one will be quick. We only have about 8 minutes left.
Yes.
Just so you guys know. So I'll keep this one brief, and this one may come as a shocker, but Mel Gibson.
Okay.
Because
isn't he more of an A-lister though, or at least he was?
He is considered still an A-list actor according to IMDb again, and Screen Rant.
It's not the 1990s anymore, but
Hollywood kind of blacklisted him for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And if you want to have a laugh, go listen to
dude
the Mel
went
Gibson
crazy.
tapes. No, No. He was having fun and being a goofball, and everyone got mad about it.
Yes.
He was just being his silly, cute self, having a good time with the bros, and everybody got mad.
He's being his little cute selfie.
He's being adorable. He's having fun, and everyone's a hater.
Who's
Mel
a cute
Gibson
little
did
Mel
nothing
Gibson?
wrong. Final answer.
Oh, okay.
But
Everybody heard the wrong thing. That's all it is.
no, Mel Gibson is a good Catholic man, and we love him. No, but
Did you just use good and Catholic in the same sentence?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm quite close to Catholics, so theologically, so I'm not gonna hit him. I'm not gonna hate on him too hard. But yeah, like all the movies he's done since being blacklisted by Hollywood, like all the independent films, they're not all good, but they're so fun, and he does good in them.
He kind of became the next Nicolas Cage.
I know, and he does so well at it.
And that is the thing, is he does do a really good job with like the independent roles. Oh man, there's one that I just watched. Is it Boss Level? I think it is. That one, he did a really good job in that one. He's like he's a bad guy in that movie. That's actually a good one that he did really good in. But yeah, he kind of got put in with like Nicolas Cage, where just any role that he can take, he kind of started taking. Which
Right.
I don't know if that hurts people or not. I mean, I know it doesn't really help because some of the movies can really, really just be horrible. But I would think like the more you put yourself out there, the better the better you are. Because that means that people are willing to take you. But
Sure.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, that was it. I think Mel Gibson had a dip, and I want to see him come back in full swing. But
I agree with
John, do you have one more? We have 5 minutes left.
I have a couple more, but I'm just gonna pick one, because I did mention him a moment ago. I think Nathan Fillion
Oh yeah,
is very underrated.
he was in that thing.
Noah's having to look him up now.
And he did that other thing where he was a character.
Yes,
I love
yes.
this guy.
Those
I
things.
love Nathan.
See, and that's the thing is like some people, they hear the name and they don't know who it is until they look it up, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this guy," and so many things. He was in Firefly, which is by far the greatest show ever, and I will stand on that one. He was in Castle, which I haven't seen all of.
He was the star of
Castle is-
Castle.
It's
Yes.
really good.
Yeah, he was a star in Castle.
I haven't seen all of it either. Like I stopped after I don't know how many seasons.
He's also in The Rookie, which is a show that's
Yep.
better than it has any right to be.
Yep. I haven't seen that one either, but that's what I've heard. I've heard it's an amazing show too. It's another one of those things, like all these shows are on my list of things to watch. It's just I haven't been able to get down to them yet. He played a supporting role in Santa Clarita Diet, which, okay, I will give you, that is like the only Drew Barrymore show that I actually care for.
Haven't seen it.
But it's because she plays a zombie.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It only did like 3 seasons, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. It has Drew Barrymore, Nathan Fillion, and Timothy Oliphant. Is the main character or the main actors in that movie or show. And she gets sick, she dies, she becomes a zombie, and her husband, Timothy Oliphant, is trying to keep her from eating people. So he's like basically trying to keep her alive, but yet, trying to keep her from keeping the humanity side of it.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah, and then she eats Nathan Fillion.
Oh well,
so
it's bound to happen.
Nathan Fillion?
She eats Nathan Fillion.
That sucks.
He was
he becomes like the zombie, like the head is like the only part of him that's left. And so the rest of his time on the show is just him being a talking head in their basement.
Oh.
But it's good. He was in not a lot of people know this one, but Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yes. He Would that technically be an anti-hero because he was like playing a literal hero, but he was actually kind of a villain? But
I would think it would be like anti-hero type.
yeah, he was also in Cars 3.
Yes, he was in Cars 3.
He was a car.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought he was a car.
Yes.
Okay.
In Cars 3.
He was in Slither, which is a kind of like a horror comedy movie. He's been in a few things, but it's just kind of like he's known more for his TV roles than his actual like movie roles. And I would like to see him in a lot more movies. Now he was in the Suicide Squad, the most recent one. He lasted like a whole 5 minutes in that movie, and then that was it. But that whole movie was just like they literally threw a bunch of people in just to get killed off. I mean, the Suicide Squad movie was.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's good. I prefer the first one over the second one, but that's just me. But yeah, I think Nathan.
Like the first one.
I liked the first one. I thought the first one was well made. The second one got too comedic. I mean, because the second one, you switched off Will Smith for Idris Elba. You brought in John Cena. You still kept Margot Robbie. Sylvester Stallone was in it. He was the King Shark. It just seemed like they got rid of that gritty style action and just tried to make it more comical than what it needed to be. So yeah, and again, I think John Cena is another one of those that's kind of like overrated. He just kind of gets into a role and I don't know, it's the same thing over and over again. But anyway, we could go on and on about this because there are multiple actors and actresses that I think we could do.
I think Al Gore should have gone into stand-up comedy.
How do you know
He
he hasn't?
did. It was called his whole campaign.
He's actually like the perfect straight
I'll
man
give you that one.
for like a comedic duo.
We have to save the world from Manbear Pig.
Yes. South Park retracted that though
I
With another-
didn't. So
with another episode.
I have no
I don't
idea.
care. A Manbear Pig is real. He lives in our hearts.
Yes.
I have no idea. I haven't watched enough South Park to know.
Oh, they summoned Satan by chanting that Al Gore was right.
And that would probably do it too. So
And then Satan takes them to the library and they do a bunch of research. It's fun. It's a good episode.
I think somebody needs Jesus.
I don't think he was in that episode. He's in other episodes of South Park though.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Especially when he's packing heat. Like
Yeah. No, I don't know. I've never been a big South Park fan. It's not.
and you're entitled to your wrong opinion.
I
South
mean, I'm
Park's
not
awesome.
saying it's
South
bad.
Park's great.
I've never been a big fan of it. I just haven't really gotten into it.
Well,
So,
it's a really hard show to get into. It's quite long.
Yeah. How many seasons are they up to now? Like,
Like 24.
yeah, I came into it at like season 12 or something.
oh, they're
and
still behind the Simpsons though.
yeah.
Simpsons,
everything's
like, what,
behind the Simpsons.
36?
Yeah. That is a show that just needs to be retired finally. Like,
Yeah.
and this is coming from someone who was a huge fan of that show, but after about season 8-ish, everything just kind of became
but-
a caricature of itself.
Now everybody's watching it to try to figure out what they're going to predict next.
Uh-huh.
That's about the only reason people are watching The Simpsons anymore. But anyway, maybe we'll get into that one. Like
Yeah.
our favorite animated shows. There's a lot that we could go on
Oh, yeah.
there. A
Well,
lot,
neither of you
but-
watch anime, so that would be an unfair.
I watch
discussion.
some.
I don't.
I watch some. I'm not like huge, but I've got a list of them
Okay.
that I do watch. We'll have to talk about that one at some point, maybe off camera,
Yeah.
and we can compare. So, but okay.
sure.
So I liked this episode. I think, like I said, I think we could do this more. It kind of seems like that's the way we're going as far as with our show. We always have a hard time figuring out what we want to talk about on our show, and then when we finally do, we just kind of like run it into the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
So, But it's been fun, and if there's something that you guys want us to talk about, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the likes, the hearts, whatever. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. That's our main ones. And then
Yeah.
I think that's our only ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got off Twitter a long time ago.
Yeah. Before the whole Twitter X thing.
And then the audio-only version of the podcast will be on Spotify, Apple Music, and yada yada.
Yes, yeah. Don't forget there is an audio version of it. Comes out every Thursday after the live stream. So look into that. Don't forget to share it with us. With other people. We like having you guys watching. We like having you guys supporting us, and we do think for everybody that's done it so far. We do this for fun. We don't do this for really anything else, but having you guys with us definitely makes it a lot more fun for us. So, but anyway, before I go on any further, I will say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
See, that brings back memories. So anyway, I am John.
I'm Dave.
I'm Noah.
All right, have a great night, everybody.